Major Mood Street.
Nobody take it before. Rhythm of the run. Money of the
Let's go.
Done now.
You done know. Peace, everybody. It's G Major, and we are live on Major Mood Street at FamFest in Harmony, Maine. I am here with Timbo Slice, one of the founders of FamFest and the Family Agency, and we are going to have a dope-ass interview talking about this extravaganza we got going on here. But we are on Major Mood Street, so we keep it street style, we keep it urban, we keep it real. So the first part of this, Tim, before we get into this interview, is called Shoot Your Shot. Okay? So shoot your shot is like this. In the NBA, there's 24 seconds on the shot clock, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you 24 seconds to tell the world who you are, where you're from, and why your artistry makes a difference in this world.
Okay.
You feel ready to do that?
Yeah.
All right, Tim, take the mic.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot.
Yo, what's going on? I'm Timbo Slice. I've been pushing grime music here in the United States for about 10 years. We have a big appreciation for underground music, sound system culture, and I think the biggest thing that our goal is with FamFest here is to emulate that culture from the UK here stateside, and to put a big emphasis on our roots, where everything came from, and how we can still incorporate it in today's world.
Yes, you killed it. A couple seconds behind the clock, but you got the shot off. We're good. Okay, so the next portion of this, before we get into it, I have to ask you something. Okay, so we've known each other for close to a decade.
Yeah.
And we've traveled everywhere together. We've been to London, we've been to Croatia. Have you ever thought that if you played a more mainstream style of music, you wouldn't have done half the shit that you've done, like from grime itself, where it's brought in you?
110%. Like, I think if I did more of like a mainstream type of set, I might have played at some different type of festivals that might have been more mainstream, but I think that like it wouldn't have never taken me to places like Croatia and London, and like back where grime originated from, specifically in places like London and Bristol, and like being able to go there and pay homage to the people who, you know, started this and gave us this type of opportunity, you know, that speaks volumes.
Because I think about that all the time, of how like if we didn't do such an underground niche genre, would we actually have these opportunities? And I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but like we could have been playing something more mainstream and just still been stuck in local clubs, making the rotation between 3 different clubs every other weekend. And
Absolutely, Tim. Thank you.
I would rather take the experience of doing something different and being able to create those memories with other people.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I appreciate you, man. So listen, the next portion of this is called, again, street style, is called Signature Move. So Signature Move. Life gets turbulent. We go through a lot of things in this life, especially in the music industry, but just in life in general. What is Timbo Slice's signature move to bring yourself back to yourself and ground yourself?
Yo, honestly, like, I'm my own worst enemy sometimes, and like when times do get tough, like, I'm not afraid of change, so like I have no problem just uprooting my life and going somewhere else and starting over. I've done it countless times. I've gone to places like Maine. I've been to places like Maine multiple times. I've been out to Oklahoma City, but like somehow I always find myself back in Massachusetts where I started, because, you know, I got a lot of love and appreciation for it. But yeah, anytime I feel like I'm getting down and like I don't really have anything going for me, like I don't have any problem ripping the Band-Aid off and starting over somewhere fresh.
You hear that? Timbo Slice's signature move is to not be scared to start over, and I think we could all learn from that. So Timbo, we're here at FamFest. You put together this festival with a bunch of other people, I'm sure, but this is obviously a major event for underground music. Can you speak on sound system culture a bit, and just the family in general that you work with, and why with underground genres like dubstep and grime and 140, the system is so important? I mean, I don't know if this mic is picking us up right now, but you could feel the bass music throughout this festival, and there's a reason behind that. So can you talk about sound system and family?
Yeah, but first thing I want to do is I want to give a shout out to Amelia, to Lainey, to Kathy, to Jeremy, to Emily, to Poe, to Cope, to Steve, and to everybody else that we've had involved this weekend. We put together a team. Everybody is skilled in their own department, and I think everybody did a good job of coming together. There's obviously all things that we can work on, and we can always work to improve it, but we do like bringing you back to the sound system thing. We work with a company out here called Subculture, my buddy Mike Savon, my buddy Teddy. Obviously, Mike and I have known each other for over a decade. We've played music all over the world together. You know, he's somebody I have a lot of faith and a lot of trust in. And, you know, when it comes to sound system culture here, like, it's something that started obviously big in dub and reggae. And, you know, we put a large emphasis on that because that's where this scene started, you know, in dark rooms with big sound systems. There was never really that emphasis on visuals, which I'm glad it's came around, and there's more exposure to, you know, complete visual arts builds and lasers. And, you know, there's a lot of people who are very good at their craft. You know, shout out Vcash, shout out Mavis, you know, two of our VJs and our laser guys. So, yeah, it's about building from within and building a community, and, you know, how do we build together? And, you know, we've done a pretty good job of laying the foundation here, as you can see. So, like, now it's just how do we take it to the next level? How do we improve?
No, thank you, because I just wanted to make it a point to say that other genres of music, the actual productions aren't necessarily made to play on sound systems, and how intricate these productions are, whether it's grime or dubstep or 140 or a lot of UK productions, drum and bass, garage, everything. All of that, no matter what it is made to be played on a system that can actually portray the music in its best light. So that's the point I was trying to make, and you even accentuated on that, so thank you so much. So the next part of this is called alley-oop. Okay, and I'm going to give you a chance to throw an alley-oop. Do you want to get in a little closer, or you just want to stay in frame area? I'm going to give you a chance to throw an alley-oop to someone who helped you get where you are today.
Oh, man, there's so many people. Like, I think the one person that I will give my alley-oop to first and foremost is my dog, Eric. He goes by Chaotic. You know, I wouldn't even...
Chaotic had a crazy set today.
And I would not even be the DJ that I am today if it wasn't for him. And I honestly wouldn't be this heavily involved with Grime today if it wasn't for him. So, like, I owe that man a lot. He's the first person who taught me how to DJ, like, and we've been best friends since we were in elementary school together. We've known each other a long time. So, like, we already had that brotherly connection. So when it came to DJing, he and I are kind of competitive. So that competitiveness led to the both of us becoming better DJs and always wanting to sort of one-up each other. And I think it's bred a great relationship and even a better back-to-back combination. So shout out my dog, Eric.
Eric, you're talking about Chaotic, right? Yo, alley-oop to Chaotic. And then for the last bit of this interview, I have to ask you something. So I came up as a hip-hop head, and that means I've been super into lyricism. Now, I only heard about grime for the first time in 2015, and my major learning curve was I didn't know what the fuck they were saying. And so it took me a while to understand UK slang in general, and then obviously grime being such a street culture, there's even more slang involved. So do you feel like with artists such as, like, say, Dave or Central C or Stormzy or Skepta, who kind of like, they kind of spit a little bit more clearly? I don't know if it's done purposefully, or maybe their accent is just not as thick at times, or maybe for marketing purposes, they literally kind of say it a little bit more bluntly. But do you think, because I feel like people are going to take to UK music more when they understand the slang, and do you feel like that's happening right now?
I feel like, I mean, especially with guys like Central C, who have obviously made it over here and have made hits that have charted with Doja Cat and whatnot, like the whole Doja Cat John, like, I think it's great, being honest with you, like, and I understand the language barrier and the slang, and that's why, like, it sounds corny, but, like, watching stuff like People Just Do Nothing, like Corrupt FM, like, it kind of helped me pick up on, like, the slang and what people were saying. But I'm like you, like, I grew up as a hip-hop head too, so, like, when I first started diving into this genre, I made it an emphasis to do my research, like, as I do even with hip-hop and anything else. Like, it's about, you know, doing your research, and then not only that, but, like, surrounding yourself by other people, like, that are in the culture, and, like, the more you hang around with them, the more you start to pick up on, like, the little slang terms and what things mean. So, like,
And I promise you this, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, I'm building up.
You're good.
I promise you this, if you do learn UK slang and you actually learn what they're saying, you're hearing some of the most next level lyricism that you've ever heard, because there's so much emotion in a lot of the words that they're using, and the way they're saying it, it's an art in itself. Would you agree?
110%, 110%.
All right, so we're here with Timbo Slice, and to round off every Major Mood Street episode, I allow my guests to set the mood. So Tim, I'm gonna ask you to drop a gem, drop anything to your fans, to your audience, any bit of knowledge that you've learned throughout this life, something to set the mood for us here tonight at FamFest.
I think if there's anything that I'd really like to say is that everybody is human. We all make mistakes, you know. We all fuck up from time to time, if I'm being real, but like, you can't hang your hat on that. Like, we all make mistakes, we're not perfect, but you know, you just need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps the following day and just be a better version of yourself. And that's something that I work towards every day, because I'm far from perfect. And I think that there's things that I can work on every day. And I think if a lot more people realize that, there would be a lot more positive energy in the world and in this community especially.
I mean, I think everyone in the world can take something from that. We all fuck up, and we all need to give each other the grace and the space.
And like, it's all about learning from your mistakes and how to not do that again and how to grow from it. Like, I still make mistakes. I've been DJing for 10, 15 years. Like, I'm very much better at covering it up, but like, even I fuck up a transition here or there, and like, I'm my own worst critic. Like, I want every set that I touch to be perfect from start to finish. I want to put the best.
It doesn't work that way.
But it doesn't. And the sooner you accept that, the easier time that you'll have adjusting
To anything in life. Timbo, thank you so much. Shout out to Panels. They styled me tonight. We're going to be out here all night outside the Panels tent with Timbo Slice, Manga Saint Hilaire, Sir Spyro, and Jamakabi right here at FamFest. This is Major Mood Street.
Major Mood Street.
Quick booking on me and
The flight has now arrived at International Airport.